So I said to myself, I watch a lot of TV and film that I cover. I end up putting it out on the radio. I end up putting it out on the internet. I end up doing something with it. This show, You, was just for me. It was a show I watched for pleasure. I said, I'm going to take my time with it. I said, I'm not even going to do anything with it. Until Nicole Ryan walked back into my life. And she said, you're watching?
Uh-huh.
And I said, yeah, we should do something. Because You season 3 ended.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's like 11 o'clock at night. And my wife was like, who are you on the phone with at 11 o'clock at night?
Nicole.
I was like, it was Nicole. And she was like, why is Nicole calling you late at night? I was like, she was walking home and found out I just finished You season 3. So here she is, Nicole Ryan, the morning mashup, SiriusXM, Have Kids They Said podcast, the whole deal and everything that we've done together. Everybody should know you by now, I would hope. But we are here to break down the 3rd season of You, because try as I might, I've got to talk about it.
I mean, I am literally creaming my pants all day thinking
literally.
about this. Okay, not literally. That's the wrong word.
Awesome.
I have been so freaking excited because whenever I'm like this obsessed with a show, nobody will do this with me. And I'm in like real life. Like I want them to sit and break down every scene and every moment with me. And you're the only other crazy human in this world that will do that.
No, I feel the exact same way. I want to break it all down.
Okay.
But the last thing I want to do is not record the conversation. There's just something where I'm like, as long as we're recording, I don't care if nobody watches it.
Right.
As long as we made an attempt to broadcast it.
Right.
It wasn't a total waste of time.
Completely agreed. And even people who didn't watch You before, I feel like are going to watch now that the whole Laura Ingraham video went viral. They'll watch just because they're like, what did this asshole not understand?
Oh, it was, I mean, cringe.
Cringe. The worst.
So, I mean, but You is a kind of a cringe show. So, like, I don't know if you know the history of this show, You. I know that I found it at season 1.
Yes, I did as well.
This show is not marketed towards me,
No.
mid to late 30s white male. However, I think it was like, so it came out on Netflix, I want to say about 2 years ago. I don't know if you know this, but it was originally a Lifetime series.
I knew that after I watched, and I was like, ugh, how did this ever even exist there? And I think I said, ugh, how did this ever exist there to Penn Badgley when he came in.
Yeah.
And he was like, I felt the same way.
So for me, I was watching it going like, I know I shouldn't be enjoying this because this is like a Lifetime show.
Correct.
And then I like Googled it and I was like, oh, this was literally a Lifetime show. This was not, but it doesn't, it's better on Netflix. So they move it over to Netflix. It does extremely well. They do a season 2. It does even better. They debut season 3. It does the best yet. For me, obviously I love season 1. I think I was sick one weekend.
Okay.
And I was bedded up. And so I just like popped on Netflix and it was one of those things. If it's on the front page of Netflix, you're like, it's worth a shot. It's worth a try.
Totally.
And I put it on. I was like, this is the best show maybe I've ever seen.
Ever.
This is so good.
I was like immediately, not shockingly, if you know me, and I don't think I'm the only person, immediately attracted to him. Like,
well, of course, because, I mean, this whole thing, like, it's so, they take the steps to normalize this psychotic nature of it. It's like, we all have started relationships where we have that obsessive feeling. I mean, it goes back to high school. It's like you have a crush on this person, you just think about them all the time, and you're like, okay, what if that translates into adulthood? And what if you never come to terms with the fact that, like, this is not, this isn't like normal life. Like most of us, we go through that phase and we go, oh, this is just what happens in the beginning of a relationship.
Right.
I can handle this.
Right.
What if every single time it happened, we were like, oh my God, this is true love and I found my soulmate.
Yes, that would be a serious problem. But I kind of loved that about him.
And also could also justify murder.
Correct.
Like if those things combined.
But this is the issue. The fact that at the beginning, when he was a little bit more relatable, like the first season, like the first couple episodes.
Again, that's they lure you in. Like,
and then by the end of season 3, he has not lost any fuckability for me.
Right.
Like he is like next level insane. And I am like, I don't care.
Because you want to be the girl who he collects trinkets from.
Yeah.
Because you want step 1. And I'm like, Nicole, step 3 is you're dead. That's step 3.
But I'm only dead if I don't give his love back, if I don't return his love?
No, because he figures out reasons.
Okay.
Like, even if it's like, okay, like we were obsessed with each other and now we're not anymore. When you're not obsessed with each other anymore, he'll come up with something like, well, I'm ready to move on, but unfortunately she knows too much. And I've got to save her from herself. And then he would kill you. Of course he would kill you. Now, do you think part of it is also how many serial killers are named Goldberg, part of the tribe?
Right.
Like, is that exciting for you?
It's exciting for me because I've never, being a Jew, I don't know if I might have told you this, I've never even kissed a Jewish guy.
Wow.
I might have made out with a Jewish girl, but I've never kissed a Jewish guy, and I've dated a lot of people, and I've slept with a lot of people. And unless I didn't know because I just was drunk, I honestly don't think I've ever had an intimate moment with someone who's Jewish, which was all my mother and my grandmother ever wanted. I just couldn't make it happen for them.
So imagine if you were like, good news, Mom, Grandma, I found this nice Jewish boy. He is a serial killer, but...
I mean, beggars can't be choosers.
Exactly. Well, so like for me, I love season 1. I liked season 2. Did not love season 2.
Really?
And I'll tell you why I didn't love season 2. I thought there was a lot going on, which you kind of had to do to not make it a full-on repeat. I could not get past the idea that it was the biggest storage locker that I had ever seen.
Right.
And it made no sense to me that there was so much going on in that storage locker, and nobody else that owned storage lockers in the area were like, hey, what's all this stuff going on in the storage locker next to me?
Yeah, there's like a lot of action happening. Usually,
action.
It's like either bringing a box in, taking a box out. It's not like a full-blown hang.
Full-on construction happened.
Yes.
So like the story of you is that Joe Goldberg is this... well, he's a lover.
He is a lover.
He's a lover, ultimately. He's got a big heart, but also a serial killer, also murderous, also witnessed abuse as a child.
Whatever.
Also bullied as a child.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, his whole brain got molded in very destructive ways. Also abused himself by the bookstore owner. He was abused.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Really, that whole thing did not end for him.
Right. And the season 1... it takes place, in his hometown in New York, in the bookstore where he works, where he was raised and everything. And there's a big plexiglass box that is the hyperbaric chamber to keep books in, to keep them temperature controlled, and so they don't disintegrate because the rare books paper goes away. And you go, okay, I can stretch. I can get there. Mm-hmm. So whatever, everything happens through season 1. He can't hang around New York anymore. No. Very obviously.
Gotta go.
He's got to leave New York after season 1. Yeah. So the show creators go, well, like the box is essential, right? The box now becomes a full-on character in and of itself.
Yeah, it does.
So how do we get the box into season 2? And they're like, what if he had just built another box in a storage locker? And they were like, fuck it. Yeah, all right, we'll do that.
Also, that I agree with you. It's funny. I didn't really think about that. But when you think about season 2, it's identical. And then in season 3, he didn't build the box in season 1. That was there from the bookstore owner. So how did he know? I mean, I guess he's Joe Goldberg, so
Don't forget, he, as a kid, was locked in the box in the bookstore.
Oh, yeah.
So that's how he knows what it's like to be locked in the box.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
So I spent a lot of time thinking about this.
Okay.
So then season 3, we're like, okay, we did the, let's not even think about it. Just throw the box in a storage locker trick. Who cares? They're going to eat the cereal. They'll be fine.
Right.
By that, I mean the audience.
Right.
And we did. And we were okay. Thing about you is you look past.
Yes, many things. Yeah, you have to. It's fun.
It's fun. It's a good time. So then they go, well, okay, now Joe met a girl in season 2. Her name is Love, which, my wife didn't really watch the show, but, she would pop in and she goes like this, the character's name is Love?
It's a little much.
And I go, yeah. Go away.
Go away.
That's so obvious. We found that out in season 2.
Yeah. And it is annoying until you realize that her family is full-blown hippies from a cult. And then you're like, okay, that's who names their fucking kid Love.
They justify.
Right.
Love starts a bakery.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need in a bakery? You need a basement. You need to store the ingredients. You need to make sure that the rats and stuff don't get to the ingredients. What do you put them in? A big plexiglass box. Made perfect sense. I actually really enjoyed that. So in season 1 and in season 2 as well, I guess it was more about the obsessive met somebody, I'm in love with them thing. What I loved about season 3 was it was also about being stuck in mundane married life.
I mean, I felt like I was Joe. Like,
you were Joe. You weren't Love.
I wasn't Love. I wasn't Love. I felt like Joe, like, I gotta get out of here. Because Love seemed like, I mean, maybe she was lying to herself, but she seemed like she was okay. And she wanted to buy into herself, wanted to buy into this life with him, but she knew that he was unhappy, so it made her unhappy.
Love also, like, Joe has this level of awareness, I think, that Love does not have. Like, when Joe kills, he justifies it in his head first. Right. Like, he's never shocked by the fact that he kills somebody.
This is the plan.
Right.
This is what's going to happen. Not Love.
Whereas Love comes home and she's like, Joe, I did it again. Sorry.
Can
you help?
Yes, literally. And it's always like, Joe. But like, why? I didn't see coming.
Right.
I took her for someone as a little bit smarter than how she was in season 3, but clearly she was batshit crazy.
She's nuts. She's nuts. And Joe's not new to this. He's true to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, Joe, like, Love is a psycho.
Yes.
Joe is a sociopath.
Correct.
I don't think Joe's a psychopath. I think he is a sociopath.
But a sociopath, isn't it, like, if you look up in the dictionary, sociopath, they don't actually have the ability to feel. I feel like he feels quite strongly.
That's true.
Right? Isn't it like you don't feel emotion when you're a sociopath?
Or maybe you just don't, you feel it in a different way.
I don't know.
I don't know. But he seems to have reason for everything. Like, if you sat down and had a conversation with him, he could explain his motives to you. And you'd be like, yeah.
And she could not, where she was not able to do it.
I don't know. I hit him in the head with a pin, with a rolling pin. I saw the rolling pin.
And they're very childish reasons. Like a couple times he was like, why'd you do this? And she was like, because she was going to do this, or I found this.
Yeah.
Or she was going to keep us from being together.
Right.
Like, it was just the most absurd things. And she was like, of course I took an axe to her head.
What else was I going to do, Joe?
I had no other choice.
So, season 3 starts where season 2 left off, which I love because, you know, much like season 1, Joe had to get out of there.
Yeah.
Season 2, Joe and Love, they both had to get out of there.
Right.
They had to move. They had to get out of there and, you know, we got to go elsewhere.
Of course.
So they moved to the suburbs. And at the end of season 2, it's a great cliffhanger because Joe sees this new girl, the neighbor next door, and you're like, yes, he's going to do it again.
Yes. You become that sociopath.
Right.
You're an animal.
Because what you want is a happy ending for Joe, which is not a happy ending. He's got to just keep feeding this beast.
I'm also very disappointed that he didn't like go through with fucking her. How did he like kill him?
That was what was so funny. Like, they start the season 3 episode 1.
Yeah.
Was like one of the best episode ones of any show. So much is happening.
Sucked you right back in.
Right. And then you go, where the hell is this going?
Actually, now that I think about it, he didn't have time to fuck her. She didn't give him time.
He did not have time because Love knew it was coming.
Right.
So, like, the beginning of season 3, we meet this girl who we thought was going to be the object of his affection for the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
However, and this is where Love is at least aware of who Joe is, right?
Right.
Because Joe does start to get obsessed with her, and we do see this happening. But what does Love find?
The trinkets.
The trinkets. It's bad news. Love knows. She knows the steps. The only reason that Love is alive is because she got knocked up.
Right.
Otherwise, she was a box of trinkets, and she'd be dead too.
I mean, she screamed as he was about to slice her throat, I'm pregnant.
Right. And believe it or not, it was true.
It was true. She wasn't lying.
Yeah, they have a kid now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, like, it is funny, though, that Love has to know.
Yes. It's going to happen again. You didn't change him.
You didn't change him. But also the end game, like, if you find a box of trinkets, yes, he's going to cheat on you. But eventually he's going to kill her.
Right.
And you'll still be there.
And you still got him. That's why, like, I mean, we're thinking too logically. We're thinking logically with an illogical person or an illogical character. Like, why couldn't she just understand that? Like, it's kind of like if you decide you're going to be in an open relationship, he's always going to come back to you.
He'll be back.
Just let him bone her.
Yeah.
Just let him fuck her and kill her, and then he's all yours again, honey.
But she didn't have that level of...
No.
She did not. She needed companionship.
Yeah.
And she did not have that sense of security in herself where she could have ever allowed that to happen. She was jealous.
She was wildly insecure.
Yeah, very insecure.
Horrible self-esteem.
Yeah, bad self-esteem. Murderous.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And so she finds the box of trinkets. And what does she do? Episode 1.
I know.
Episode 1, she kills her.
You know what? For 2 seconds when she was following her down into the basement to kind of like take a look at the basement for the property because she was going to have this bakery, I thought she was just going to confront her.
Yes.
Like that was just like an in case kind of thing, that she wasn't going to actually, was it an axe or did she take a sledgehammer to her head? What was that? What happened? I don't even remember.
I want to say...
Does it matter?
I want to say axe. It wasn't the rolling pin yet.
Yeah.
The rolling pin's later.
Yeah. I just remember for 2 seconds thinking, okay, maybe she's going to like confront her. And then it's going to be a back and forth for a little while. Maybe Joe even has a chance to fuck her, and then he really gets her pissed off.
You wanted to see the sex.
I really think that the sex was the most... I mean, that was a very...
They made out a little.
Yeah, no, I need insertion.
Penetration. Penetration. I don't think they would have shown the penetration.
I don't care. Just the idea of the penetration is what I need.
I see. So there's something in you that you're like, I know there was no penetration, and that's...
It ruined it for me.
It did.
Did I just say insertion?
Insertion.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's cool, too. That's just sexy.
Okay.
It's just you being sexy. Yeah, no, and so it's like...
I need that.
Right. That to you was the bummer of it.
Yeah. Like, I like the murder. I want both. I want equal parts sex and murder.
Okay, so the violent, it was far more violent than sexual. Like that, you needed to even out.
Yes, thank you.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So she really just deserved, all she did was make out with him.
Yeah.
So maybe just like a slap in the face.
Right.
Then she goes and has sex with Joe. Then she gets killed.
Maybe not a slap in the face. Maybe just like a threat. Like
because it's whatever, make out with.
Right.
You know,
yeah. You need insertion.
But there was no insertion.
There was no insertion.
Is that what you would do with your husband? Like, did you insert?
Why did I say that? What could I not think of the word?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, no.
You've been a mom for too long, I think.
Fuck my life. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I am so dying for dick. It's unreal.
What?
Sorry. I think that's why I love this show. I didn't mean to go here. I know that this is what this is about. And I got it the other day, but it's just like not enough.
Right. No, I get it. I get it. That can be very, very frustrating. It could be.
Thanks for letting me vent.
Yeah, no, it's important.
Sam, you're so sweet.
It's important.
Okay, next. Okay, back to Joe.
Okay, so we also met the Instagram influencer. What was her name? Carrie?
The Instagram influencer.
Yeah, the neighbor.
Oh, no. Carrie? Why? Oh, my God, I'm totally blanking.
I mean, she ends up in a box, too, at the end of it. With her husband. She gets her ear shot.
Oh, I didn't think of her as an Instagram. She was the blogger. She had the blog. Yeah, she was an Instagram.
Well, she was an influencer.
Yeah, she was an influencer, but she had a whole blog. That was like what her claim to fame was.
I didn't realize. She's no Instagram influencer. She's a blogger.
She's a blogger, but like that was like the thing.
Oh.
Yes, okay, I'm sorry.
Sherry, not Carrie. Her name is Sherry.
Sherry was the worst. She was the worst kind of human ever.
It really is funny, too, because like the show, like obviously, social media is a huge part of the show. Like the whole hook of the first season was he was finding all this information on Facebook and social media and stuff, and it was like, oh, it's so much easier to stalk a person now because people will put all their information out there. So, like, all these people that like live and breathe social media are watching this show, and like one of the most unlikable characters on the show is the influencer.
Correct.
And it's like we're almost holding up a mirror to the audience, and the audience is like, I hate her.
I mean, do we hate her more or her husband? Because they were both pretty fucking awful. They were both like the worst. I also don't know if I bought, besides the fact that they were both awful and like obsessed with themselves, and completely out of touch with reality. I don't know if I bought that they would ever be together. It had nothing to do with like what they looked like or anything. I just like, I don't know. They didn't.
Well, they were both like shells of human beings.
That's right.
So I could see them just kind of simultaneously existing.
Yeah.
Like when like two people that are they're so self-obsessed that they don't realize that their partner is also self-obsessed. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people that are self-obsessed to that level would try to find somebody that like dotes on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked. It was fine. It
totally
worked because it was a fucking story.
I mean, literally. I mean, if that's your problem with this series, you can have a rough go of the season.
I know. It's 100% true. 100% true.
So we met the woman that would end up being the object of Joe's affection. What was her name? Marianne?
Was she gorgeous or what?
I mean, as soon as that character was introduced, I went, here's where we're going.
She's a goner.
Yeah.
He loves her. I mean, she was breathtakingly beautiful.
Whoops.
Yeah. Oh, why? Cameraman too. Why'd you have to pan to her?
Yeah. And it was like they gave it a couple episodes before they dived in. I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
This is what this season clearly is, because he's not gonna fall in love with the stupid influencer. He's not gonna, you know what I mean?
No. And for 2 seconds, I was like, are they gonna try to go there? Don't go there. He would never go for someone like her. He loathed her. He hated being at like the parties with her. Like, he was just like, this girl sucks.
Yes. So then we meet Theo. So now also in this episode, we get the first taste. This is episode 2 now. We get that first taste of Joe having to clean up Love's mess. We didn't really get that in season 2.
He was not happy.
But season 3, Love is, he wasn't happy for 2 reasons. Number 1, he doesn't want to clean up the mess. Right. And number 2, he was trying to penetrate that girl.
He was trying to fucking get up in there. Oh, insertion. I was this close to insertion.
Yeah. Man. I wanted to insert. I guess this is married life.
The whole thing was, I liked how it was like this dark humor. How like the way that he was annoyed with her was like if your kid spilled a bowl of cereal.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh, all right. Okay, right. You go home. I'll clean up this mess.
It was like when your wife is like, can you get flour on the way home? And you're like, I'm exhausted. I'm trying to get home. All right, I'll go throw the body in the car. I guess I'll wear her clothes.
Throw her hat on.
People think I'm her. And I'll go dig her up. What do you mean she's got a locator ring on? All right, I'll go dig her up.
That's awesome.
Buried her twice. They're sitting there going like, oh, we'll frame her jerk-off husband.
Right.
That he's a weirdo. That's who we'll frame. And while they're working on how they're going to frame the husband, here comes Theo. Theo, that son of a bitch, Theo.
And like he also threw me off, like he was like this feminist, or he was like studying like some feminist.
Yeah.
What did he say when it was also like that? It was another very unbelievable thing, but like I don't care because I know that you don't care either. When he was like helping her at the grocery store, like get stuff into her trunk.
Oh yeah, like Theo in real life, like is way more fuckboy than that Theo. Like that Theo was in Love,
right?
And it's like, no, Theo's a fuckboy in real life.
You know that Theo and Love in real life are dating.
They had a chemistry.
They had a chemistry.
They did have a chemistry together. Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah. When they were fucking in the park.
Yeah,
yeah, they did have a chemistry together.
That was the insertion I was hoping.
You were waiting for that.
But I love that the ripping the clothes off.
I
need that.
Just the passion, passion.
Yes.
You can't have passion when there's kids in the next room and you live in a 2-bedroom. Am I right?
Correct. Correct. The passion's gone. Hand over the mouth.
Yeah.
Shut up.
There's nothing passionate about that. No, except because then you're putting the hand over the mouth. And then you pinch the nose. Goodbye. But we do meet Theo, and I will tell you, like, I'm sitting there, right?
I felt bad for him.
For Theo?
Yeah.
In the beginning?
Yeah.
In the beginning.
No, not at the beginning. Not at the beginning.
In the beginning, I didn't like him.
No, I didn't like him.
Because I'm looking at this guy, I'm like,
twerp.
Well, he's like, from a guy's perspective, and maybe it's from a guy like my perspective. Like, I go back, and I'm like, okay, if I'm closer to Theo's age, if I'm in my 20s or whatever, I can't compete with that guy. And I hate that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like this is some like he's like half charming. Like he's not charming enough to be ugly, but he's very charming for a very good looking person, right?
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so I'm like, ugh.
I know.
And she's just eating up everything. He's like, I left my money in my house. Can I have a cupcake? And she's like, okay, you can pick one. And I'm like,
it was almost like they were playing the, like what I would imagine it would be like between a teacher who was trying to have a relationship with an underage child, like in the classroom.
Yes, it's very Mary Kay Letourneau.
Very much. That whole episode, that scene.
Yes.
It was.
Very much.
Oh.
Because he makes Love feel like, because Love is not an independent person.
No.
So what she wants to do is regress. She wants to be a kid again.
100%.
Whereas Joe is ready. Well, I don't know what Joe wants. He just wants to kill these broads. but in the meantime, he's falling in love. He's just following his heart. Joe's just following his heart. That's all.
He's following his dick
and heart. They're connected.
Yeah, they're connected.
They're very closely connected.
And the dick usually is followed by some sort of murder weapon.
A lot of times, like a blunt object or something like that. But
not usually the gun. Sorry, I was going to say he's not really into the whole gun thing.
Because he's a romantic.
Yeah.
He wants to feel it.
He wants to feel that.
Yes,
yeah. Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
They promised to never kill again.
They did. That did not.
We're never going to do this again.
Not a promise they were able to keep.
No. Joe hides the body. So episode 3 is where it gets controversial. This is why it came up on Fox News and everything. Episode 3 is where the little baby Henry, because this whole time that there's a little baby here, and like,
son of a bitch.
I mean, you don't even know what you were born into.
You are fucked.
I mean, even if those parents don't raise him, the genetics are just garbage.
No, they're not good. You don't have a shot in hell. The whole nature versus nurture. Your nature side is so twisted.
Yeah, it's over.
It doesn't matter who's gonna raise you.
Plus, they say that like the first year is like way more important than people realize because everything is getting soaked in. Yeah. The madness that went on in that house during his first year. Well, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So
that's why Keegan's fucked. My son Keegan is fucked.
It's over for him.
Oh,
So how did the girl survive?
Parker?
Yeah.
I don't know. She was just stronger than him.
She's an outlier.
She is an angel sent from heaven. But Keegan is, we often say he might be a serial killer. He shows tendencies already.
Yeah, he's like dissecting animals and.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a Dahmer-esque.
Insects. Small animal, if he had access to it, we're just in the city.
Right. But watch those rats.
He loved. Oh yeah. He loved when we caught a mouse going. He loved getting that shit.
He did.
Oh yeah.
My kids are like. Oh, exactly.
Not Keegan.
No. Like seeing that mouse squirm. Look at him. I'm more powerful than he is.
Exactly.
That's creepy. Yeah, you got yourself a little serial killer. Yeah. You got yourself a little Joe Goldberg there.
Yes, I do.
He's probably going to be a really good-looking kid.
For sure.
Right? He's probably going to grow up to be a handsome man.
He is. And he is packing. Oddly.
That's dangerous.
It is very, I mean, I am fucked.
Oddly. That says a lot about your husband.
No, I'm not saying about that. I'm just saying for a child. I feel like all kids have small dicks, right? I didn't mean anything about that. I
It's
just
like a grown-up side. Well, regardless, I feel like we're...
digressing.
Yeah, which we do from time to time. Yeah. No, don't be sorry.
Okay.
Don't be sorry.
Okay.
The episode 3 is where we get controversial, though. Episode 3 is where, like, the people who are, like, the woke police people came, and they're like, oh, now they're using these vaccinations as a plot point in the show, blah, blah, blah. And, they were acting like, because I watched the episode, and I was like, oh, it's interesting that they took something so timely and topical. It wasn't a COVID vaccine. It was a measles vaccine. Right. The little kid gets measles. Joe ends up getting measles while he's trying to break into his neighbor's house so he can frame him for murder. Just worst case scenario.
Just a normal day for Joe. Yeah. Just a normal day.
Yeah, well, Love needs him to do it. And he's like, all right.
Yeah.
I'll do it. But Love ends up finding out that one of their, like, playmates, neighbors, whatever, their family is like, we don't really believe in vaccines because we believe in, strengthening and natural immunity. Love bludgeons him with a rolling pin.
Is it wrong for me to say that I didn't feel like what she did was wrong? I didn't feel like that specific murder was wrong.
Well, technically, it wasn't a murder. It was...
Sorry, no, she didn't. She just hurt him very badly.
Assault.
He was very badly
with a rolling
burned.
pin. Yeah. He was very badly burned.
He was very badly hurt by her. I didn't... Because I don't want to get into a whole vax thing.
Sure.
But I feel like, yes, my kids are vaxxed, so they would probably never get it. Any of those things.
But you got mama bear tendencies.
Yeah, and that's all that it was. It was like, you fucking asshole gave my fucking kid because it's just annoying.
Because it's not hypothetical measles. It's literal measles.
Yeah, the measles are back.
Right.
Right?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Measles are back.
I look like Fauci?
Yeah, a little bit. No, I feel like they're back. But I did feel the mama bear. Like when she did that, I was kind of like, fuck him. Yeah, you know what? Smack him upside the head.
Well, like, okay, so I thought the controversy was a little bit misplaced because it's like, I don't think that Love is put into the show to be a role model. This is the second person she's attempted to kill in 3 episodes. Like, I don't think we're sitting there going like, wow, this is a pro-vaccine show because the murderer is trying to murder. It's like, I think it's just taking something that is topical now that people can relate to, right? I think it does pull on those heartstrings.
Right.
I think that it's intentional in the sense that they know, let's be honest, again, I would be the outlier here. There are a lot of women that watch this show.
Right.
Many of those women have children.
Right.
And so they are sitting there, and when the whole vaccine thing and worrying about your the health of your child is going to pull on your heartstring, and so you're going to sit there and be like, hit him again. Yeah.
I wound up with her. She did. No, but I mean, I think that in this season, they made sure that they showed that there was just very few things. Obviously, it seemed like there was a lot of things that would cause her to kill, but there was a few things that were going to be she'd be more apt to kill over jealousy and the safety of her family.
Yeah, no, I thought that they did a good job of making it seem like that at first. Yeah. And then as the season went on, you were like, oh, she's batshit.
Right.
Like it takes almost nothing to get her to kill, actually.
Right. Did you look at her weird? Well, you're done. Right. Yeah.
Exactly. And I would have been like, okay, they just snuck that in there for whatever, if it wasn't a plot point. Because at first it seemed like, what, do we just throw this measles thing in here to fill a couple episodes so you can get to 10? But no. You realize that this guy, first we had to find a reason to bludgeon him.
Right.
Why would Love bludgeon him this early in the season before we've really established how batshit she is? Okay, she's got to protect her kid, and that thing comes over her. Okay, why bludgeon this guy? Well, we have to bludgeon this guy so that we can expose to him that we know that his son is a sexual assaulter.
Right.
Sexual predator.
Correct.
And that is going to cause him to kill himself.
Right.
And when he kills himself, we can now move the body to his house, write a fake little suicide letter.
I mean.
And frame him with his little fingerprints for the murder of the girl from episode 1.
Yeah.
And so now there's a bow on it.
Oh.
2 birds, 1 stone.
Oh, yeah.
We've justified the bludgeoning here.
Yes.
Which, weird that the coroner who was like, he committed suicide. Like, there's a big rolling pin size knot on that guy.
Just ignored that part?
Yeah, it didn't come up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. He must have just bumped his head before he killed himself.
I am a sucker for a bow. I am a sucker for like the last piece of the puzzle, and I was like, oh, like that makes me feel fulfilled on some level.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what? Because it feels like as ridiculous and absurd as this show is, they care enough to put a bow on it.
Yeah.
Like they're not just like giving us some shit and being like, whatever. We're gonna put Penn Badgley on there,
right?
And you're gonna eat it up,
right?
We're not even gonna bother trying.
There's
it's
a rhyme and reason for everything.
Yes, we're actually building to something. Right. But then you go like this. Okay, what's that? Episode 4, and you go, well, this is only episode 4. It's a 10-episode series. Like, where are you gonna go from here?
What?
That's all icing. That was all just setting things up.
I know.
Because here is where Joe admits that he loves Marianne.
Yes.
And Theo and Love come together as being more than flirtatious. And you're like, this spells disaster for everyone involved.
See, I didn't think that. I saw that and I was like,
of course.
Oh my gosh, they've just created an open relationship without even knowing.
Right.
If this is going to be healthy. This is how they're going to survive.
You're really trying for that open relationship.
I am really pushing for it. No, but I really did for 2 seconds. I was like, oh, like I like this. Maybe they're going to go on.
Yeah.
And like they're going to kind of reveal it. And she's going to be like, oh, thank gosh, because I want to be with Theo. And he's going to be like, oh my gosh, I want to be with this girl, but I'm just a moron, I guess.
Yeah, it's too much. When people murder, sometimes they're possessive.
Yeah.
You know, when people are that big control freaks that they need to capture people in glass boxes, which is where they kept the gentleman who didn't vaccinate his child that got bludgeoned and then suicided. They kept him in the glass box. When people are so controlling that they're like, we should make a glass box to capture people in, a lot of times they're not healthy enough to be in an open relationship.
That is fair.
Possessive, literally holding people as possessions.
Yeah.
I mean, not metaphorically, not literally, I'm in possession of multiple people. They are in a glass box in the basement of my bakery.
I feel... Yeah, I guess he is not. Neither of them. You're right. Neither of them would be capable of it. I'm sorry. I was being a dreamer for a moment. It felt like that could have been another little bow, another little puzzle piece, and I was excited about it. And then they shattered my dreams.
Joe is not necessarily. I mean, Joe is capable of it in a sense because he wouldn't care.
Right.
But that's because he doesn't care about love at all anymore. Right. Which is not what an open relationship is. That's just like,
okay, yeah.
You can go sleep with whoever you want. Because I don't even like you.
Yeah, she's only still around because of Henry. Like, that's really the only reason that he keeps her around.
Exactly. So that's at the same time, right? And I'm sitting there, right? This is where we lead to the camping trip.
Oh, God, it's so good. The fucking camping trip.
The guy's camping trip.
It's so good.
And it's just like, do you understand? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I would hate.
That camping trip was your fucking nightmare, Sam.
It was my
nightmare.
I'm sitting there going like, what? Give the kid a protein bar. Let the guy eat.
Starving.
Look at Penn. And I also love, I'm like, okay, Penn, like, did you really have to do push-ups before? You're supposed to be like meek and you're still kind of like, you're not like, you know, steroided up.
No.
But he's still in decent shape.
He's in okay shape.
Like, he don't look like if I take my shirt off, that looks like a serial killer.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm saying? Okay. Like, that looks like,
yeah,
this guy is not fit to be on this camping trip.
Penn is, or not Penn, I can't believe I just called him Penn. He is Joe. Joe has always been a little bit more slight than I wanted him to be. I almost wanted him to be like.
You want him beefy?
No, I don't want him fully beefy.
Oh.
Like Carrie, now you said Carrie, now that's in my head. Sherry's husband was too beefy for me. That's too much man.
Too muscular.
But I needed a time, one level up of beef.
Like muscle, or is it okay if it's just a little chunk?
I think I'd be okay with the chunk.
Interesting.
I just needed a little more mass.
You need somebody that's at least a little bit substantial.
I can't fuck you if you're skinnier than me.
I get that.
Right?
I get that.
Okay.
You need to be held.
Correct.
Right.
Thank
I
you.
understand.
Thank you.
I understand.
You always understand.
Yeah. I did think that. What's her husband's name? Carrie. I wrote it down. Their names rhyme, which I didn't realize that until.
I didn't realize that.
Did my notes.
What's his fucking name? Look at your notes. By the way, his notes are full-blown serial killer notes. I mean, you look like that's how I picture a serial killer writing.
This is Joe Goldberg. And I mean, like, look, I have just like everything.
It's terrifying. Are you going to kill me in this basement?
Yeah, eventually. Not today. We're doing the show. But like, yes, at some point I will.
Sherry's husband. Why can't I think of his name?
It might be Carrie.
Maybe they're sharing Carrie. He could be Carrie.
They rhyme. It could be Carrie. That's why I thought it was.
Because that would be his name, like kind of a girl name.
Exactly.
Like, right? Let's just go with Carrie.
We'll go with Carrie. Okay. So Carrie brings it. And I thought he was done.
Oh, no.
I thought he was deaded on the camping trip.
Yes, that was the end for him.
Right. And when and again, I was like, the camping trip is stupid. I was like, okay, a couple of things. This better not be a waste of an episode just to do a goofy camping trip. I want this to mean something. Mm-hmm. And it did. Mm-hmm. It was very important. Also, I'm sitting there going like, bro, she's buying Theo Ubers while he's in college.
Oh, yeah.
He's back home all of a sudden.
And you left?
Don't go away.
I know.
Do not go away.
I forgot that those things coincided.
And I was like, what do you think's going to happen? And that's what he goes to the woods.
Right.
She, picks up this little DUI maniac. Penetrates him in the park.
The insertion I was waiting for.
And then it happens in the park.
Oh, so good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it too. I was like, ugh.
But wait, did he do that like wanting it to happen because he'd already set his sights on Marianne?
I kind of think he didn't care. Okay. I think Joe's smart enough to know what's going to happen. He gets human psychology. I don't think he knew what was going to happen. I don't think he cared anymore.
No,
I think he was like,
this bitch is cray.
It's almost like somebody would have told him that, and he was like, don't you think it's a bad idea to leave right now? And he's like, oh yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It just keeps it moving.
Right.
Like, no, he didn't know it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But his day remains unaffected by the fact that it did.
He is a sociopath.
He's a total sociopath, and I really enjoyed coming out of the camping trip. It's like he has this moment of self-realization when Carrie doesn't die.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, maybe Joe has changed for the better. And he goes, no, I figured out what I have to do. Like, I have to embrace this part of me. And as long as I don't take anything,
right,
I can stalk her all I want.
There you go.
It's so healthy.
Yeah.
I'm going to, and this is also when he starts like being a good husband just to keep love off his back.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Which is so psycho.
So psycho. And if she really was as psycho as we know now, why did she not pick up on that? This is not him.
She's psychotic, but I don't think she's that smart.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
She's not, because she wants it to be true.
Right.
She wants to be normal.
Oh, he's turning a corner. He's being sweet to me. He's actually trying now.
Right.
Maybe the camping trip did work. Maybe it was just what he needed.
Right.
Sherry was right.
Right. Whereas, like, I mean, I would imagine, like, if your husband just started being nice all the time and doing everything that you needed all the time.
Kill it. It's a clone.
Right. Or you'd be like, you're clearly cheating on me.
Yeah, something's up.
Right? Like, I know what you're doing.
Or you're hiding something.
Right. But she so desperately wanted it to be true because she wanted
you're right.
normalcy so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the key. She felt guilty.
She did.
Because fucking in the park.
A little bit of guilt.
She felt guilty about that. So when he's like bringing her gifts and stuff like that, she's like, oh, what have I done? He's such a good guy.
Yeah.
But you know, he's not.
No, he's not.
He's killed so many people.
Yeah.
Did you see season 1? She's like, I didn't see season 1. I was like, well, you definitely saw season 2. You were there.
You were there the whole time, bitch.
The whole time.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. So.
It's feeding my soul. My heart is beating fast.
Because you're thinking about it, right?
I'm so excited.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get it. So that's when we realized that Matthew, who's the husband, the widower.
Well, yeah, he's a widower.
Of the woman who died that Joe was obsessed with in episode 1.
Yeah.
We realized that he has a full server in his house.
Yeah.
That was a little over the top.
Well, but we did know what he did for a living. That was why there was the ring. So he was into the tech following GPSing thing.
I guess, because it'd be like if they set up on the show, like Sam hosts like a radio show, and they're like, so of course he has this ridiculous studio in his basement. And you're like, that would never happen. And I'm like, oh, yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes,
and I am going to kill Nicole there.
Yeah, there's plexiglass over the front. Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah, okay, all right, so you can justify the server thing.
Yeah, it was a little bit much. He clearly went over the board and called in like the head honchos to really just like up the ante of the trying to find who killed his fucking wife.
Right.
That was fucking terrifying. And also it was terrifying because I know that it could that technology probably exists.
What, like tapping into the like surveillance cameras everywhere?
Yeah.
Totally.
Right?
It definitely exists. But also, like, I think the real, like, I think the real scary part would be, and I'll bet there's a way to do it, if you could start tapping into, like, phones.
Yeah.
If you started tapping into phones, we're all screwed.
Right. That's like FBI shit.
Yeah.
And also the amount of security cameras that are just everywhere, which I think it's good that they have now. Like, I don't know, like, how many security cameras, like, caught me, like, picking my nose or something walking down the street?
I mean, I don't think that if they did, they'd be like, oh, there's Nicole picking her nose, but I don't think it would be that big of an issue.
I'm joking, but, like, the fucking security cameras, like, in every corner of every street now.
There's no privacy.
It's nuts.
There's no and that's the interesting thing about the show, right? Because, like, season 1, it's about how hard it is to stalk. I mean, how easy it is to stalk because all the information is everywhere. But by season 3, you're like, but harder to cover up a murder because information is everywhere.
Do we know any like statistics or research about what this show possibly has done to the world?
I don't think. I mean, I think we were done anyway.
I mean, we're definitely done. We're definitely in a bad place. But like, you don't think there's been like Joe Goldberg copycats or like any?
Look, I mean, the sexualization of the serial killer has been going on like way beyond you. Like the fact that like
I wanted to fuck Dexter forever ago.
Okay, and that was years ago.
Yeah.
Zac Efron is playing Ted Bundy. I mean, you see what I'm saying? I mean, did you see when American Horror Story did the 80s season, all the Richard Ramirez stands that were on Twitter? I mean, forget it. That's okay.
Okay.
You're dead.
And that's it for you. Get in the plexiglass box.
I mean, I think that it's, especially because it's like a lot of women watching the show.
Yeah.
I think it's probably less Joe Goldberg copycats, especially because literally nothing on the show could ever happen in real life.
Shut up, Sam.
Like,
you shut up when you talk to me.
One thing on this show could ever actually happen.
I mean, maybe a few things.
None of it.
None of it?
Not
Zero?
one thing.
I don't know.
Not one scene could be replicated in real life. Zero of this show could actually happen.
All right, fine.
That said, I do think it is adding to women being attracted to serial killers.
Well, listen, but forget this serial killer thing. I've always had a bad boy thing. So whether you're a serial killer or I don't know, I feel like this has made the girls who weren't necessarily into bad boys maybe get into bad boys a little bit.
And maybe now it's like, now you're seeing what you were missing.
Correct.
From your perspective.
Right.
You're like, I've been there.
I've been done.
Like, this is not new to me.
No, this is my shit.
Yeah. I married one.
Yeah.
So, this is where we find out that Marianne is not as perfect.
No.
As she put on, and that she's got this dark, sordid past. But at the same time, I mean, talk about introducing a character that you know is not long for this planet when they're like, hey, here's Marianne's ex that's upsetting her.
Oh my God, that guy sucked. I hated his guts.
I do love that he was like every douchey network news guy.
Yeah.
And I think that that's because like the show creators know that like on some level you would want to kill any of them.
Yes.
Yes.
You need to be, that's how they make you on Joe's side. That's how they make you root for him. You're like, fuck this guy.
Fuck
get
that
rid of
guy.
him. Like, when you're saying at the television, or when I'm saying at the television, they got to go. Long before he even does it, that's how you know you've bought into this show. That's how you know.
Right. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
you're fine with it.
I did love that Joe was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ruin his sobriety.
Oh.
And then they go, Joe, he's literally got a stream of drugs going through his system 24 hours a day. Nobody drinks that much protein.
No, I also wanted a sip desperately. Especially after Joe upped the ante.
Yeah.
Like if he already had his smoothie, that chock full of drugs, whatever the drugs were, I don't even know what they were.
No.
Just wanted one little sip.
Yeah, it didn't even, I mean, it felt like it was the perfect thing for this show. Because I'm sure if you asked like one of the creators, like, what kind of drugs were they? He'd go like, drugs.
Doesn't matter. Drugs.
Drugs. People do drugs. He does them, and he puts them in a shake.
Right.
You're like, what kind of drugs can you put in a shake? What?
Yeah.
We've moved on from that.
Yeah.
He's got drugs in his shake. He drinks them all the time.
Doesn't matter whether it's believable or not.
Stop.
Okay.
You're not fun.
There's drugs in the shake. Move on.
I thought that the pregnancy... Can you justify the pregnancy element to me? I didn't think it was necessary at all. Love getting pregnant and it probably being Theo's baby. I mean, it lasted one episode. Like, I don't know why.
I think that was a little bit to like get her to like her mom. I think there was a little bit of trying to get the mom to be pushed to. I think that was the reason for it, right? To get the mom to be pushed over the edge where she did some crazy shit.
I tell you, that mother, Dottie, is a monster.
She is a monster, but she's a total babe.
Okay,
you would fuck her, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But she's a life ruiner. She is a monster of a person. I don't know. There's something about crazy moms.
From cults.
From cults specifically.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. There's something about being narcissistic parents. To me, are like
the worst
scum of the earth. Like, you are destroying a generation.
Like when she screamed at her when they were fighting, when she had just done something horrible and put Henry in danger, and she was wasted, and she was just like, "Mom, like I never want to see you again." And the mom looks at her and was just like your father did this to me. Like this will be you.
It's
like,
all me.
Yeah, it was so narcissistic personality disorder. Like just bleeding all over her. It was crazy.
I also think something interesting happens right around here. This is when they find out that the widower has that whole setup in his house.
Right.
And Joe's like, you need to use Theo.
Yeah.
To get there. And Love starts using Theo. I feel like Love's attraction for Theo starts to dip down. Because Theo, instead of being this like, ooh, I shouldn't be doing this, bad boy.
Right.
All of a sudden, he's just this lapdog that is being used. I don't know if that was accurate or not. But once he starts being used, I feel like
she loses interest.
Yeah, now he's lame.
Well, I mean, he was her bitch all of a sudden,
exactly.
And it wasn't as fun because he was like so eager, and it wasn't that game of cat and mouse anymore. And like you're right, yeah,
right. Like she caught him.
Yeah,
the cat caught the mouse, and it was like, oh, okay,
right.
Now I've got him. I mean, I think she still had an affection. Speaking of affection, I think she still had an affection for him, but like ultimately, that's when because there was no more danger, there's no more spontaneity. It was just like, I can't believe he fell for this.
Yeah,
you know,
and it proved and it just showed how immature he was. That he was like this child, and she like all of a sudden was like, "What am I doing?"
Yeah,
and he became just somebody that she was using. He was just part of the plan. He in no way, shape, or form was like someone that she was like sexually attracted to anymore. He was just someone that she needed to get what she needed because now she was in danger of getting caught.
Especially since Joe is the one that assigned her to do it. So when Joe assigns her to do it, and now he's falling for what is ultimately Joe's plan. I mean, big deal. A fling here and there doesn't. I just 4D chest you'd off the planet.
Yes,
right.
I totally agree with you.
However, we talk about 4D chess and getting the upper hand on somebody. How about when Marianne's ex confronts Joe and is like, yeah, I know you've been following me. And it's like, oh,
I didn't see that coming either.
No, me neither, because Joe doesn't get caught like that.
No. Well, then I was like, enough, Joe. You need a better disguise than your fucking baseball hat. Like, come on. Like, this
Bro, we've all seen Gossip Girl. We know who you are. You're famous.
Unbelievable. But it annoyed me because, like, why does he know? Like, because he just knows that he's that much of a dirtbag that people would follow him or that people would, like...
Yeah, that's true. Like, we never actually saw him notice Joe. It's just like...
He just felt it?
Yeah, he just knew. But you didn't see him, but he knew.
Well, I have a question. I mean, like, if you've ever had someone close to you walking down the street, you feel it, right? Like, he's never that far behind someone when he's walking. And, like, also, if I've ever, like, Joe would sit in a car and stalk, like, you would be like, well, who's in that fucking car over there looking at me?
Yeah, you do notice when the car's not empty.
Right?
Right? You know, I've always thought that
Someone's got a hat peering out, staring like.
No, it couldn't be bad. He got a creepy baseball hat on.
Right.
I'm sure he's just here sitting in a car as people do.
Totally.
Yeah, no, I'm with that.
But I did like it when he confronted him. I was kind of like, oh.
This is interesting.
Oh.
This is interesting. We also find out that Sherry and Carrie, that is their names. I found my note.
Okay, good.
That Sherry and Carrie are swingers.
Yeah. Oh, did I love that. It was too, you want to know the truth? Me, and you know me well, it was almost a little much for me. Once they went into it, and once they were like doing these they were like, so they sat down Love and Joe to like do a contract.
Right.
And then when like Joe like, agreed that he was like even down to like do something with Carrie, he was like, yeah, okay. Like literally, this was all for Marianne. This is how far he'd go.
Yeah.
Like he is not like homosexual in any way.
No.
And was like, I'll bend over so I can have
her.
Marianne.
Yeah.
It's all
now,
for you.
Would you find that romantic? Like if somebody said that? No.
Not me. Some people might. For me, that would not do it for me.
Right.
And anytime I've ever done anything like that, it's always been with another girl, not another guy.
Right.
I don't want.
No, but I mean, what if somebody was like, Nicole, I've been pursuing you so much.
Yes.
That I just slept with this dude, even though I didn't want to. I'm not.
So I can have you?
Yeah.
No. I think
That would be. Let me tell you something. That'd be a real bummer.
Wouldn't it? If you went that far?
Yeah.
For my affection?
That would be a real buzzkill.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're putting that out there now, just
Yeah.
in case anybody had any ideas.
Not gonna happen.
That's not gonna work. But I did think that it was funny. The whole swinging scenario. I thought it was funny how they were still so self-obsessed.
Yeah.
Like Carrie just into himself in the mirror.
The suitcases. Yeah, the mirror jerk off scene. He was like so like he turned himself on.
Yeah. Even the sex with like Sherry was not sexy. Like she wasn't even aware of what was going on.
But what about that Love was like, I saw your eyes. Who were you thinking of? Because you looked okay. Like you were okay that this crazy bitch was riding you.
Because he was like, first he was looking at Sherry and he was like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then he looked at Love and he was like, hey, what's up, Love? And then he shut his eyes and she was like, I know your brain.
Yeah.
And like, that's bad. That's bad. When you're trying to pull tricks on a lady and she knows your brain. You can't do that.
No. If we know your brain, don't fuck with us. Just honestly, don't. And that ultimately, because he closed his eyes and tried to get through it by picturing Marianne, that's what made her run downstairs and then scream at each other about the initial killing of the neighbor.
So funny because it's just like, you made me kill her. And it's like, why would you say it out loud?
Because you're Love. You're an idiot.
Yeah. And it really is. It's like admitting that you cheated on a test by mistake. Like it's just thrown around. Like that's what to me makes the show so hilarious is that they turn murder into something that's like, oh, I can relate to that. Like I haven't done that exact thing, but I've had that fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I felt that way. It hasn't ended in this.
Sorry, I forgot to take out the trash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you've had that fight where company's been over and you're like, oh, this is going to be awkward when we get back. And that was this, except
it was murder.
Murderous ramifications.
Yeah.
I mean, you knew they were done at that point.
Yeah, I mean, but again, for 2 seconds, I gave them the benefit of the doubt, or maybe I gave Sherry and Carrie the benefit of the doubt because I thought they'd be able to, because they're so crazy and they're like swinging with suitcases full of toys and stuff. I'm like, maybe they can sit down and really have a come to Jesus moment and be like, listen, don't tell.
You thought they were cool.
For 2 seconds, okay, Sam? I said 2 seconds only. I had a moment when I just had hope, and then it was just...
Yo, you guys are cool, right?
No, not cool. Not cool at all.
It was funny that, like, that scene where they're trying to feel each other out.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, everything's cool. And they're like, yeah, everything's cool. We gotta go!
Yeah. For 2 seconds, they'd be like, did they hear us or did they not?
Yeah. They heard you. And they end up locked in the plexiglass cage. And while they're locked in the plexiglass cage, now Joe has to kill Marianne's ex because otherwise Marianne's ex is going to bring Marianne's kid to Jersey.
Yes.
And then she's going to move to Jersey.
Right.
And he lives in California now. He can't go back to New York.
But that's when he got sloppy. Joe got sloppy when he killed Marianne's ex. And that's what, because then it was on the news. He did nothing Joe Goldberg-esque in that way. The whole killing was just so sloppy. It almost made me feel disappointed
because him. Because he was doing too much.
Too much.
Because he was trying to juggle too much.
Yep.
And he got caught.
Yep.
Because he was sloppy because he was trying to do too much.
Right.
which we found out not only was he dealing with like, you know, the fact that now we got Sherry and Carrie locked up in, and they're influencers, so people are going to know, you know, they're kind of famous.
Right.
They're locked up in the plexiglass thing.
Right.
I couldn't care less about Love anymore.
Right.
We also know that, you know, in the back of his head, he's like, at some point, I think Love's probably going to poison me. Yeah. So he's dealing with that the whole time. And now he's trying to figure out his escape route.
I thought Love would have been a goner way earlier, too. I thought, like, once she killed, like, 2 or 3 people, like, when she was, like, haphazardly just, like, swinging and killing people.
But, bro, she survived the whole season 2 and made it into season 3.
Yeah.
She got a baby by this guy and moved into a house with him.
Yeah.
Like, this is a survivor.
Did you say she got babied by him?
No, she got a baby by this guy.
Oh, I kind of like she got babied by him. That's like an adjective.
By him. Yeah.
I like that.
I'll tell you what I did not enjoy. I thought the hallucinations where 40 was back, her brother. I thought that was dumb.
Truth, I loved 40.
Of course you
Shocking.
did. I can't believe it.
You're not going to believe this. He is actually, he obviously is an actor, but he's also a spin teacher. And he was teaching a class up near my apartment, and I took it because I was like so obsessed with him. This is during season 2.
Because you wanted to meet 40?
No, I just wanted, I didn't like say anything to him. I wasn't like, I'm a big fan because like that's so lame. But like I just sat in the back where then I wrote.
You just went to look at it going like, that's 40. That's very Joe Goldberg of you.
Right? And
Did you have a hat on the whole time? Like, you were like, this little plastic bag is 40's sweat.
No, but it did. I felt. No, but I did feel like I felt that was necessary because their relationship was like so integral to some of her craziness that if he didn't return for a second to kind of talk her through whatever it was or talk her into or out of something, I liked it. For me, it was like another mini bow. It was a mini bow.
Yeah, no, bows are good. I liked the texting. I thought the texting was good.
Yeah.
But like...
Also, you don't hallucinate like that when you're drunk.
I mean, of
no
course
one hallucinates.
Don't.
Okay, you hallucinate when you eat mushrooms or acid. You do not hallucinate when you're that drunk.
Oh, I had so much to drink. I was seeing people. What?
No, and you're not. Yeah, no.
No.
I did like the texting more than I liked him in the bath with her. That was also creepy.
But
why are you taking a bath with your brother?
I didn't. Yeah, I thought that was weird. Their relationship was weird. In the bed together was weird. I didn't like when he started texting back like a hallucination. I thought that was stupid. I just liked the device of the texting being used almost like a journal.
Yep.
I was like, that's creative, and at least it harkens back to 40 without knocking us over the head with a rolling pin.
Right.
But then they knocked us over the head with the rolling pin, and they were like, she got so drunk, her brother was with her.
Right.
I didn't need it.
No. Okay.
Not for me. Okay. Not for me.
Not for you.
Love got sloppy again. I was sitting there going like, why give Sherry and Carrie a gun if you're going to lock them in the thing? Because even if you figure out a way to get them out and you unlock them, they have a gun. They can shoot you. You kidnapped them.
I don't know, but they can't because it can't penetrate the glass.
But what if they open the door to let one of them out?
Yeah.
Because they shot the other one.
Oh, okay. I didn't think of that far ahead.
There's a gun in there now.
Okay. I was like, it upset me for a while. I was like, fuck, who's going to... And I was like, if anyone's going to go, Carrie's a goner. Like, Sherry will kill him.
Oh, Sherry's way smarter.
Right?
Carrie's an idiot. Carrie's a himbo.
And then, like, he accidentally shot her ear off. Also, like,
ricochet. I didn't shoot you. I ricocheted.
The whole thing was crazy, and they started looking crazy. And, like, honestly, I started thinking about weird things because they were in there for so long. They really documented their time, their stay in there. Like, I just can't imagine going to the bathroom in that bucket. Just that whole thing bothered me. I don't even want to think about that. I just want to think that you're like in a box.
Yeah, but there was a bucket of excrement.
And they showed them really dwindling and looking real rough. Both of them, more than anyone else that's ever been in the box.
Especially as Sherry's ear was rotting off the side of her head.
Oof. And she was holding it on with her headband. Yeah. That was a little bit unbelievable.
And then she shot Carrie in his leg.
Yeah, whoops. Didn't mean to.
Yeah, you started it.
I was just mad.
You started it.
You shouldn't have shot me in the ear accidentally.
Yeah, and I'm going like, okay, how are they gonna, like, I was looking at that point, I'm going like, bro, there's no way. Like, how are they gonna justify either them dying or them getting out of the cage? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like there's no way. However, they pulled it off, I felt.
Yeah, they did.
I thought they did. So then Love finds the bloody towels in the bathroom garbage can under the plastic bag.
Yep.
She saw the murder. And this is, again, this lady knew her man's brain.
Yeah.
She saw the news that he got murdered.
Yeah, she was like,
she put 2 and 2 together because she met him.
Yeah.
She knew immediately.
Yeah.
Joe killed this dude.
He's in love with Marianne.
He's in love with her.
Yeah. And she knew when she met her, like, this is, like, she knew who he could and would be obsessed with.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, she knew. She felt it.
I kind of think they should have killed Theo. I don't like that Theo survived.
I don't like that I don't know.
I didn't need a happy ending for Theo and his brother.
I also thought
Or stepdad, I guess. Or dad.
Stepdad.
Stepdad or dad?
Yeah, stepdad. But, like, the only, like, real dad, air quoting real dad that could ever be for him. I felt when I did not see her making him think he was going to be okay, and then
Wha-bam!
I thought
it was more true to her that she did end up. Like, I was sitting there watching it going, like, if she doesn't knock this motherfucker out right now, then this whole show has been ridiculous.
I thought it was going to be like, this is like shows that she really cared for him, like,
but
this
she
deeply.
didn't. You know why?
Why?
Because he fell for all the tricks. He's a Mark. She
Yeah.
can't be with a Mark. She's with a Joe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
You know?
I mean, yeah, I guess he did, but like then it was kind of like even more freaky of her to be like, it's gonna be okay, just leave to make it so he was gonna die and feeling okay.
Boom. My favorite scene maybe in the whole series was when Joe went to take care of the body and Theo wakes up and he confesses to sleeping with Joe's wife and Joe's like, I don't care.
Yeah, and he's
like, you poor thing. Like, you think that?
Yeah.
No, buddy.
No.
Matter of fact, you're such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring you to a hospital.
Yeah. He felt bad.
Oh, sweetie pie.
It was almost like he had enough of her shenanigans. He was like, geez, a fucking another one. You know what? I'm gonna save you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save you. You're an innocent kid.
And he's like, I'm sorry I had sex with your wife. And he's like, I don't care about that lady.
That wasn't an amazing moment.
Like,
that bitch is crazy.
I don't care about her at all.
I forgot about that.
You can have sex with her all you want.
I also did. I don't know how he survived. Like, I don't buy that all of a sudden he's like making, like, rustling around in there.
He was unconscious and then he woke up in a body bag. That's all. It happens. That happens sometimes.
Yeah.
So then we get to the climax, which is, I know, always your favorite part.
My favorite part.
Which is, they know something's up. We got this awkward dinner now. Love knows what Joe did.
Did you want a bite of the chicken? Because I did.
The chicken looked good.
The roast chicken looked bomb.
But I thought it was poisonous too.
Oh, you did?
I thought something was up.
Okay, I didn't.
I thought there was something was about to pop off.
Okay.
2 people weren't going to leave this dinner.
No, but I didn't think it was the meat that was poisoned.
Could be the meat.
Okay.
You're going to inject things in meat.
Fair.
You know, I don't know. I don't know what people do to their meat.
Okay.
Okay? It's tough. But so, you know, you got this real uncomfortable position. Love knows that Joe knows that Love knows.
Right.
Joe knows that Love knows. Joe knows that Love knows that Joe knows.
Ugh.
So but nobody's saying much.
Right.
So you're like, oh boy, he's holding the knife, blah, blah, blah. The whole thing's happening. All of a sudden, Joe goes paralyzed.
Oh, I didn't see that coming.
No, because Love poisoned him. And I'm like, of course, this is where, like, you get the aha. You're like, we should have remembered from season 2, Love is smarter than we've been led to believe throughout this season of her just killing everybody.
Also, we got that little nugget when Joe brought the mom to rehab and she basically insinuated that Love had killed her ex-husband.
Yeah, she probably killed her ex-husband.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Believe what you want, but...
Yeah. I also love that, like, the mom is like, I want you to know you married a murderer. And Joe is like, yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of...
Tell me something I don't know.
Right. It's like, when the mom tells him that, it's like, good information.
Right.
Not exactly shocking. Right. I'm not going to call a newspaper.
Yeah,
you know, I kind of saw that coming.
Thanks, bitch. Let's go to rehab.
So then Joe goes paralyzed, and then Love almost kills Marianne, but her daughter's there. Love shows kindness and mercy, lets Marianne just go away, never come back, go away, do the whole thing.
Right.
Then Love leaves. Matt finds Joe by himself. Joe's all paralyzed up. Joe lets Matthew know where Theo is.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
With his eyes. He's like blinking.
Yeah. Then Love comes back.
Also, why was he so angry? Like the guy, what was the guy's name, the stepdad?
Matthew.
Matthew was so angry at him. Like, what the fuck's the matter with you? Like, he was just like pretending to be paralyzed.
Well, he was also like so pissed that like he thinks Joe probably killed his ex.
Yeah, he's a little...
His wife.
But he seemed just like annoyed. Like, speak, bitch.
Right.
Like, don't
like,
just...
he's paralyzed, clearly.
Sorry, can't.
Like, there's psycho stuff going on in this house. if anyone should know, it's you, Mr. Security Cam.
Exactly.
You know this isn't a normal house. This shouldn't shock you.
Yeah.
But you're right. But then when Love comes back and she confronts Joe, and I'm like, so I'm sitting there going like, okay. Because I'm trying to figure out the logistics of this, right?
Correct.
And I'm like, I don't know this actress. Actress is great.
Yeah. Victoria Progetti.
Fantastic.
She is.
Does a great job on the show. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
The whole thing. And I'm sitting there going like, is Love about to kill Joe? And then Love takes over this show?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Because I'm also thinking that, like, if they're going to kill the lead character, where are we going? Now, if you are going to kill that lead character, it's going to happen in the finale, right?
Correct.
And I don't know. I didn't look up if they're going to do a season 4 while I was watching.
I didn't know
spoilers.
Either.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, we about to have season 4 just centered around Love because she's going to kill Joe. She's approaching him. She's got the knife. And I go, but she's going kind of slowly. I feel like it wouldn't be this slowly. And then boom! Syringe to the leg.
Oh, it felt so good. I can feel it right now.
And you can see it in Love's eyes. She's like, you got me, you son of a bitch. Like,
I got got.
And like, you can see there's helplessness. Like you can see there ain't no coming back from this. And then Joe goes through, and it's like the end of Saw, where it's like
flipping through.
And you're like, the clues have been right in front of me the whole time.
The whole time.
Joe knew that Love was growing poison plants in the backyard.
Yes.
And when Love's mom told Joe that Love poisoned her
he checked it out.
That's when he checked it out. That's when he found the plants.
Right.
That's when, like, eventually this bitch is gonna poison me.
It's gonna happen. I need you ready.
Let me start mainlining adrenaline.
Yes.
Like, let me just start taking these regularly.
Yeah.
So I've got it just coursing through my system at all times.
Just ready to go.
So whenever, also let me get this syringe of this poison.
Just ready to go.
So that when I'm all, and you realize he was pretending to be paralyzed when Matthew was over there.
Yes.
And you're like, why would he pretend to be paralyzed when Matthew was over there? Well, because he's got a whole plan of escape now, which is Love dies, her heart, like he gives her enough poison that the heart stops.
And this is, again, when you know that you have like invested into this show way too much, because I felt such like fulfillment and like a weight lifted on my shoulders when he killed her. I was like, yes.
Go be happy, Joe.
Yeah, you deserve it. Right? Fuck that bitch.
Nobody has ever deserved happiness less than Joe
Goldberg deserves everything.
He does. He deserves to be happy, and his intentions are always in the right place.
Yeah, they are.
You know, he can justify what he's doing.
Yeah.
What's there to be mad about?
Yeah, but also I think the reason that I thought that like he got, that not her, that like I think that when I was as surprised as probably you were when you saw, oh my God, the clues are in front of me and that she's been getting ready to paralyze him, he had gotten sloppy. Like when he killed Marianne's ex.
Great point.
I was like, you're sloppy and that's why you missed this. And then it was like, no, nobody outsmarts Joe Goldberg. No. He's been doing this his whole entire life.
Yeah. All he does is kill all day.
Right. And he tabs and stalk. Like this is his shit.
Yeah. It's not an accident.
It's not an accident.
He's a professional.
Yeah, he is.
So she's dead. He's sitting there typing out another suicide note, which he's good at. He's good with words. He reads a lot.
He does read
That's what we can't forget.
Very
Joe
smart.
Goldberg is a reader. Readers tend to be very good at writing.
Yeah.
So he writes a little suicide note, sends it. Not only does he save it, he sends it to everyone in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
BT Dubs, in the suicide note, I'm going to go ahead and blame her for all the murders.
Why not? Makes sense.
Right.
Tie it up in a bow.
Tie it up in a bow. That way nobody's asking questions, you know. And then he cuts his toes off.
One toe, I thought.
I thought 2 toes.
I thought 1, but hey, maybe it was 2.
I thought it was 2. Could be wrong.
Okay. Did you know what he was doing?
No.
Okay, me neither.
I was like, what is he doing? And he cut his 1 or 2 toes off. I was like, that's a man right there.
Yeah.
And
that's a man right there.
I mean, I think it takes balls to cut your toe off.
Cut anything off. Hurt yourself in any way. It's bizarre.
I mean, especially your toes.
Yeah, toes.
You ever stub your toe on a table?
Oh, there's nothing worse. Have you ever stepped on a fucking Lego? Maybe worse than a stubbed toe.
You know what's worse than all that?
What?
Cutting the some bitches off.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So he cuts his toes off, and I'm like, what's he doing there? He's making a chicken pot pie. I'm like, was he hungry? What's he doing? We're having a last meal? Go for it, Joe. Yeah. Enjoy yourself.
That would make sense. This would be something he'd do.
Yeah, he'd go like, I'm not going to leave without eating.
Right,
I'm not going to leave on an empty stomach.
No, can't do it.
So he puts his toe in the chicken pot pie.
Why was that?
Because he's trying to make this bitch look like a cannibal on his way out. Like, what a son of a bitch.
Okay, one of the truth, I didn't think that. I thought, and I'm sure you're right and I'm wrong because you're just way smarter than me. I think I thought that he put the toe in to make it look like she was just that crazy, that she had killed him. And like this was just like sort of like the way he collects trophies. This was like her way of like.
No, here's what was going. Here's the way I took it.
Okay.
I thought he put one toe in the pie and then left one toe loose, so there was some kind of remain of him there.
Right.
And then he put the other toe in the pie. That way, when people were like, "Well, we have this skeleton.
Yeah.
We have Love's remains. I don't see Joe's remains. Where are they? In Love's belly." And I'm like, can you imagine if you died and on your way out, she's sitting there going like, this son of a bitch just poisoned me.
Yeah.
I wish he had told her real quick, like, I want you to know that your memory,
yes,
that everybody's going to remember you for, I'm going to blame you for all the murders. And she's like, oh, that's going to suck. And he's like, that's not the half of it.
No.
They're going to think you're a cannibal. And she's like, no, don't do that. But then her heart stops.
But she deserved, because he probably plunged her with too much.
I mean, he gave her a lot. He gave her a whole syringe.
Yeah, it was a lot.
She gave him maybe a little bit. What was the handle of the knife poison? Something was poison. Yeah. It wasn't that much.
It wasn't that much. But he wanted to, I would have wanted that. Like the way that she tried to give Theo like a last memory before he died, like it's going to be okay. She deserved to hear how everyone would remember her.
I'm about to make you a cannibal.
Yeah. Like, I agree with you.
Like
she
that's
deserves that.
So crazy that like people are going to be like, oh, no, you don't want to buy that house. That's the house that burned down.
Yeah.
A cannibal lived there.
Cannibal. Also,
and then they go like, oh, let me see a picture of the cannibal. And it's Love Goldberg?
I mean, come on.
That's the most beautiful cannibal I've ever seen in my life.
Ever in the world.
Jeffrey Dahmer looked like...
He looked like a mess.
Love doesn't look like a cannibal,
no
but
way.
she was, but she wasn't. But as far as we're concerned, she was.
Am I the only person who thought for 2 seconds when he dropped Henry off on the gay couple's doorstep that when the guy Marianne worked with at the library, they all worked with, that was blind, when he stepped out and he just looked around, he wasn't going to notice that the baby was there. The baby would get for 2 seconds. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I was
where's the husband?
I was like, Joe, you don't need to run.
He cannot see you, honey.
He can't see
shit.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe leaves the kid on the doorstep. That was the right move.
That was the right move because they've been wanting a baby forever.
And that's the best shot that baby's going to get, which still, I mean, no shot.
No
shot.
Again, it's the DNA is just
done.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it's not like half of the DNA is bad. It's all garbage.
Bad.
I mean, that's going to be an attractive child. Don't get me wrong.
Gorgeous. Just breathtaking.
But just as crazy as the day is long. Yeah.
No chance.
No chance, unfortunately. Yeah. And so and then Carrie and Sherry end up getting out.
Classic.
And I mean, of course they do a TED Talk. And be honest, Nicole, I know that like I feel like you struggle between like half of you is this like has kind of a wild life, you're a wild child, and the other half is like, I mean, I'm in broadcasting, so I should probably want this like mainstream acceptance or whatever.
Yeah.
You'd probably want to be seen at that TED Talk, right?
1,000,000%. I would be front and center. I would be front and center.
Tell me more about surviving the box.
I mean, it was brilliant, and it was so on brand for them as a couple. It like made me chuckle, like out loud. I think I was like, "This is amazing."
It's exactly what they would do.
And their like arms went up together, like holding hands, like yes.
Yeah, and it's all the people that actually do that. It's like you're all just this isn't based on anything.
How else do you like go on after you've gone through what those two went through between the fucking or almost fucking this crazy couple?
I mean, just continue to live in this weird, self-obsessed shell of a human world. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
And then I love that Joe goes to Paris.
Of course he does.
You know, I don't know how he got on the plane.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
He got
Maybe
there.
he took a boat.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
Maybe he got stowed away. I don't know.
He's Joe Goldberg. He figured it out.
Exactly. He would have figured it out.
And I was sure that it was not going to be the ending that it was. I was sure that when he thought he saw that girl, that it was like, that's how they were going to end it. And that was actually Marianne and the daughter.
Yeah.
And when it wasn't, I was like, well, that's annoying.
But he goes, I will find you.
You.
And I go, there's a new you. And then the first thing I did before actually, I probably texted you first.
Yeah.
But the first thing I did was text you to be like, you.
And I was like, are you gone?
And to tell you that I finished the show. And then I was like, I Googled immediately is there going to be a season 4? Which I'm sure everybody did.
Yes.
And yes,
there it
is signed on for a 4th season. I'm just so glad because part of me was like, okay, season 3 seasons of a show.
Yeah, it's a good run.
It's a good run, and it's like has integrity, right?
Yeah.
See, when you start doing like 4 or more, it's like, oh, this is what you do. Like, it's why like Steve Carell had to get that parachute because he's like, I've been doing The Office for way too long. People are only going to see me as you know, what's his name, and I'm finished. And to an extent, I mean, he had a great run on the show, and he's a great actor, Steve Carell, but we see The Office when we see him still, to this day.
Yeah, I mean, I see The Office and I see 40-Year-Old Virgin. I mean, I see both.
He's so good. But, I mean...
Bags of Sandman!
Isn't Michael Scott and the 40-Year-Old Virgin, like, kind of...
Yeah.
Couldn't they exist simultaneously?
We just interviewed Kevin from the, what's his name? Brian Baumgartner, who plays Kevin on the Office. And he said that it was season 1 of The Office and they were going to cancel it. And then 40-Year-Old Virgin came out. And they were like, we can't. Literally, that was the only reason they didn't cancel it.
What were you interviewing Kevin from The Office about?
He has a book out, and he was awesome.
He is, I don't know if you know this, he's one of, if not the top cameo. Okay.
Yeah, he makes fucking bank doing that.
I make a lot of money.
Yeah, he was amazing. And also I got to share with him that I was, Steve Carell's one of the people that I was horribly rude to when I was a receptionist at SiriusXM.
You were rude to Steve?
He came in and I was like, who are you here to see? And he just was like, he looked, and this is like 40-Year-Old Virgin was about to come out.
Oh.
And I remember, and I was like, sit down, take a seat, like something like that. And then I just was like, fuck, I was so mean to that guy. And Kevin or whatever, Brian was just like, that's what he knows, he remembers you. That's why he's never coming on the show.
But like season 4 is when you're like almost like, no, I'm ready to just, if you want, I'll just maybe do the show forever. And that's the way I want it to be.
Okay.
You know, I am a horror movie guy.
I know you are.
So like, I'm happy that there were 10 Saw movies. Or 11, I guess, after the Chris Rock one.
Are there really?
Yes.
Yes, I've never seen one. What do you think about that?
Oh, they're great. If you check the channel, I did a Sam Roberts Now where I went through the entire franchise and explained.
Alone?
Hot Dog was there.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, because that would be real creepy. If it was just you, like.
And then. But I did go through the entire soft. But Hot Dog hadn't seen any of them.
Okay.
So I just explained the whole franchise to him.
Was he into it?
Yeah, at first, and then, I mean, Hot Dog's always real good for figuring out when something jumps the shark.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so, you know, and everything does, but I don't care.
Okay.
Keep going after you jump the shark. Jump that shark. So you don't find another shark.
You don't care if you jump the shark, if they continue even.
You jump the shark at episode 3 of season 1.
Stop it.
It's the worst show ever, but it's so good.
It's so good.
Like, I don't know what, like, it would just have to, I would have to feel insulted watching it.
Okay.
For it to jump the shark, right? It doesn't, I don't need it to be realistic.
Yeah.
I don't need it to be anything. I just need it to, I need the show to feel like I know what you're getting out of this, Sam.
Right.
And I'm here to give it to you. Not like,
yeah,
hey, I'm just putting this on because you're an idiot and you'll watch anything.
Yeah.
That's where it would lose me. And it didn't lose me. And this season, I was like, you put effort in.
A lot.
I think that you find the show as campy as I do.
Yeah.
And let's enjoy each other's company.
Well, I mean, have you interviewed Penn Badgley?
No.
I feel you'd have such a fun time with him.
I would have a great time with him. I don't even know why I'm doing this show on this YouTube channel. I have such a small crossover audience that watches this show.
Okay.
I mean, no one that listens to me watches this show. I go like, you watching you? They go, what are you talking about?
Well, maybe
I text my coworkers' wives about you.
Okay, I get it. All right, so maybe my people will watch.
Like,
when
I would sit in if you interview Penn and be like, let's break this down. As a matter of fact, when you see, here's what we do.
Okay.
When season 4 comes out.
Yeah.
And he starts doing press for it again. Yeah. He does the morning mashup.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Aside from that.
He needs to do us together.
You and I get together.
Yes.
We interview him.
Yes.
And we sell it to the talent bookers and to these people and go, we will do a special. And I will make
sure. Like a town hall?
Yes.
I want a town hall.
We'll do a town hall with him. And we can run it on my channel, much to the chagrin of my audience.
Oh my God.
But I don't care.
I don't know. Who does?
It'll be great. And it'd be the best town hall ever because
probably
we're obsessed.
Yeah.
We're obsessed and we're also polished, finessed broadcasters.
That's what I like to think about myself.
So I feel like it's only good.
I think it's what needs to happen.
Were you ultimately satisfied with season 3?
I mean, satisfaction is an understatement.
Sounded like my dog might have just fallen down the stairs.
I mean, I hope she didn't, because
you heard that. Though,
it was
right?
a very large, loud noise. But I think Lila's tough.
Well, we should probably put a bow on it. And I'll tell you this: if you guys never see Nicole again after this taping, something happened on the drive home after she left.
No,
it wasn't here. It
not
didn't.
Done here.
I swear.
There's no blood splatter on the plexiglass.
Yeah.
It is right here.
I can't wait to put that plexiglass right. You can see how it's that side of the room squares off.
Yeah.
Easy plexiglass.
Fuck. I'm fucked.
It would have to be bulletproof though.
Yeah, what?
Because otherwise those murder suicides are not going to work out. You loved season 3?
I loved season 3.
You ready? How do you want this show to continue forever?
Not forever. I want maybe 3 more. Like I could do wrap it up. Shut up, fuck you.
Maybe 3 more seasons.
Well, Dexter went on for what? There's a new Dexter on right now. He was, what is it, the 9th season?
Dexter is kind of, I mean, God bless.
Yeah.
Kind of notorious for ending in one of they're just having the shittiest last few seasons of any show.
I don't care.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like 6. I want 6.
6 is a solid number.
Is a solid number for you. I also just love him, and I love that character.
I mean, look, I also feel like we're really close to getting to the point where he's gonna start having gray hairs and stuff like that.
No, he's not. Shut up.
How old is he? Isn't he our age?
I don't know. No, I think he's younger. You don't think so?
I don't know. He doesn't look that much younger.
I feel like he's 32.
You wish. Theo was 32.
No, he wasn't. Wasn't Theo almost straight out of college? Or he was in college?
The character was.
Oh, okay. I don't care.
Okay.
Whatever. He'll die. It'll be fine. It's Hollywood.
It will. Plus, he's a guy. Guys age very... I mean, look at me.
Ugh.
I'm a vision of what I once was.
You really are. I loved you hairless and with hair.
I appreciate that so much.
With hair and hairless.
Hairless and with... Yeah, both.
Yeah.
Either way, just strike that, reverse it.
Just love you no matter what.
I got it. Is there any place that you want to send people to? Obviously, MashUp Nicole on Twitter.
On Twitter and Instagram.
IG.
And then my podcast, Have Kids, they said, which none of your audience would ever listen to. But maybe someone you know would.
Yeah.
So check it out.
Which is you and Rich Davis complaining about your kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our husbands and wives and life.
Yeah. For me, I go I don't know why anybody would listen to a podcast where people just complain about their lives. And then everybody else is yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Because my life sucks.
Yeah.
And I need somebody to make me feel like it's okay.
Right. And I'm there.
I go, that's what Nicole and Rich are here for.
I'm here for.
Because I'd be on your podcast going like this. It's not that bad. My kids are so cute.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, you need to leave.
Yeah,
You're not welcome.
No, you would annoy me because you do have that because that's your whole vibe. It's what? Everything's fine. And it's not fine.
Everything's great.
It's not fucking fine.
And I love my life.
Not me.
Well, then I'm glad that I got to take you out of your life for even if it was just for a moment.
This has been delicious.
To discuss this grand show.
Yes.
And we'll have to do it again.
Oh my God. ASAP.
Let's just talk about the series again.